Yo, what's going on? Calvin here. So I'm going to get straight into this. Basically, I'm going to be breaking down how Nero built a $1.8 million funnel machine, right? So if you're wondering kind of who Nero is, he's essentially a spiritual entrepreneur, right? He's an author, coach, digital creator, all that kind of good stuff. He's blending personal transformation with metaphysics, online monetization, all that kind of stuff, right? He's essentially built like a multi-platform brand. So from YouTube, Instagram, email, automations, web funnels, all that kind of good stuff. And he's bringing in about $146,000 per month. Now, if you're wondering how I know this, I actually found one of his mentors who he's worked with, and I watched basically like a testimonial video of how much he managed to get. This was a few months ago, but he scaled it up to about 146 grand a month, which works out just under 1.8 million per year. Now, has he earned more than that? Probably. Am I going to find out? I mean, I'm not here to pocket watch. That's not my interest. I'm here to kind of break down what's actually working, what's worked for him, so that you can kind of see how he's done it and what you can take from it to kind of do something similar for yourself. If this is something that you're trying to build, if you're interested in the kind of online coaching, info space, that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, that's kind of who he is, what he's done. And this is just a picture of a funnel. I'm not even going to use this picture. I'm going to use other resources. But anyways, let's get straight into this now. So what does Nero do, right? What does he actually do, right? So he's an author. He's published a book. He's got a 7 to 9 week signature kind of coaching program. He's got digital courses, frameworks, workshops, as well as like one-to-one coaching and like a mentorship high ticket program that he does as well. And yeah, as I said, he's a creator. That's kind of a brief bird's eye view of like who he is, what he does. And I'm going to be breaking down again how he does it. Now, how I'm going to be breaking that down is through my own framework, right? So the PureScale system, PureFlow system, is what I use for my clients in my agency to actually help them scale. So it's everything from getting traffic to how to position the offer to how we, do the sales process, how we build a valuable pipeline, the conversion process, and how we actually deliver value. Everything we're going to be, analyzing from Nero will be based off of all the steps in my own system. So yeah, that's essentially the framework that I'm going to be using, if that makes sense. All right, boom. Step one, traffic, right? We live in an attention economy, right? So if you can muster up attention, if you can get traffic, right? If you can get eyeballs, if you can convince people to actually stay engaged and tune in, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, retargeting, ads, whatever the case is, get that attention, like you will kill it. Over the long term, the people who get the most attention and sustain it over the long term will kill it, guarantee it, right? So how does he actually do it? So it's interesting. I actually heard of Nero when he wasn't really that known, before he even had a YouTube channel. I've been in this space for a while, kind of just keeping my tabs on different things or what's happening. He ran an ad, and it was 2023, I believe it was. And it was just an ad to his Instagram page. And this is when he was looking like a straight up drill rapper, right? Hoodie up, shades on, just like, looking interesting, whatever. But he had a look to him, right? And the problem, I think, in this era was he very much wanted to be more faceless. He doesn't really show his face too much now, but especially back then, it was very much like, who is this guy, right? But he was still spitting game, right? He was spitting knowledge, he was spitting game, showing value. And he was kind of building, slowly and surely. And then after he kind of started, with the Instagram, he started like a YouTube page, which I remember I was one of the first people to subscribe to back in the day. And it was just faceless kind of YouTube videos, right? Very faceless, kind of generic. I mean, and I say generic in the sense that there's so many like faceless YouTube creators in this space, in that kind of metaphysical, esoteric coach space, who do very similar things. So it's kind of hard to stand out, right? So he didn't really have a strong follower base. And again, this was kind of like 2021 to mid 2023, right? This is what I call his faceless phase, right? And I think this video, when was it posted? This was like, December 1st, 2022, that kind of vibe, right? Boom, right? Then it started to shift, right? This is what it started to shift. This is what I call his kind of authority era, or the transition, where basically he had this one video, and it was how to be a god over all your problems, right? And bear in mind, his videos used to get like 2,000 or 3,000 views, which is still, decent. But this one, I mean, today, this has got 250,000 or whatever. And I watched this guy go from 4K to 100K subs in about a month, right? And the difference is, it was just a very, very like different approach, a very raw whiteboard style video, low editing. He chucked some piano in the background and just called it a day, and we're just spitting game, nothing but game, right? And again, this is the authenticity era. And then he realized, as any smart person would do, oh shit, this is getting traction. Let me double down. Let me see where this will take me. And he just started going in, right? Dropped the faceless videos, started his kind of, and I call it this kind of like hood intellectual branding, right? Because he's there, he's got a certain cadence, he's got his do-rag, he's got his shades on, vest. He's kind of talking just how he talks to the boys, you know, to the man them, but from that very spiritual, very esoteric perspective. And you can tell, like, this guy's read a lot. Like, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's done his due diligence, and you can just get a sense of that. One, he's authentic, he's been himself, and he even says it in his own videos, right? Being authentic is like one of the highest frequencies you can operate in, and people can smell it. And equally, people can smell when you're not being authentic. And you know, it really just helps kind of convey your message or whatever expertise. If you add your expertise and your authenticity and combine it, people could just see like, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, right? And this is like when his channel blew up, right? Again, 4K subs to like 30K subs, sorry, 100K subs in 30 days. Now I think he's on like 300K, right? And this is kind of what really started, you know, how we know Nero today kind of started from this era, right? And how he does it, right? He uses what is called a cross-pollination strategy, right? So his main attention-getting mechanism is YouTube. From that, what's going to happen is you're probably going to, you know, try to figure out more about him. You probably see him on TikTok, Reels, Shorts, and then you might subscribe to his email newsletter, then IG stories, right? But the whole premise of this is, let's say somebody doesn't even watch his YouTube. They just see some random reel, right? Like I did, right? Go to his IG, his stories, his reels, whatever. You might be like, oh, what's this guy talking about? Link in the bio takes you to the TikTok. Another link in the bio takes you back to the YouTube. Another link in the bio takes you to an email newsletter, so on and so forth. And what this does is it makes it so that you engage with him through multiple platforms, through multiple touch points, right? And that's essentially how he's managed to build this kind of big following. And the reason why this is so important, right? Get to that in a second. The reason why this is so important is because of the 7-4-11 rule, right? So this rule states that somebody has to watch 7 hours of your content, roughly, have 11 touch points with you, roughly, across roughly 4 different locations, in order for them to have enough trust and for you to have enough authority for them to become a client, right? And that's why the cross-pollination strategy works so well, because you see his videos and he's created this ecosystem where no matter where you get in, you're probably going to see him again at some point, right? You're probably going to jump around back and forth, find some useful bits, maybe share a little video on Instagram, who are your friends, so on and so forth, right? And then here's how he compares with other kind of creators, right? Whether it's esoteric coaches, whether it's mindset coaches, whether it's get money online coaches, whatever, right? Most creators kind of make short form, right, content in order to get traffic to the long form content, in order to then funnel them into like a landing page or all that kind of stuff, right? And there's a big emphasis on making it look clean, highly edited, really polished, that kind of vibe, right? And it's very strategy heavy, like, oh, this is this strategy we're running, we're going to try this new strategy when it hops out, so on and so forth. With Nero, he's kind of flipped it. He gets most of his attention on long form because he's managed to just get it that way, right? And it's not that one is better or worse, but really and truly, you want to try to get people indoctrinated into your long form content. If somebody sits down and watches a 5, 10, 15, 20-minute video of you in whatever space you're in, they're going to be much more nurtured than just some rage baity type reel on TikTok or whatever, right? But anyways, how he's done it is he gets a lot of attention from YouTube, which leads into trust, which then goes into his funnel, which is built in anyways, right? So his emphasis, he kind of really relies on just being real, spitting facts, spitting game, being, you know, true to himself, true to his ideas, and just that really allows his ideas to resonate with whoever's actually watching, you know, his content. And that leads to a good identity and belief shifting content, right? That's how he does it. Again, as I've said, the 7-4-11 rule, and that's basically how he manages to kill it with attention, and how he's managed to kind of evolve over the years. And it's a lot of it is trial and error. You got to figure out what it is. And don't watch this and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do exactly what Nero's doing. I mean, what might work for him, this might work for you, it might not work for you. You have to like play around with it, but hopefully this should make you see, oh, this is how he does it. And if it's something that you want to do, enter the online space, hopefully the cogs are turning. You can be like, okay, this is one way or a potential way that I can start implementing some of these tactics in whatever I'm doing, right? I'm just showing you how he's done it. Cool. Now, once you get attention, right? So you get the attention. That's Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Step 1, get attention. Step 2, you have an offer, right? Your offer is the backbone. Really, people start with it first. I think the offer is second, because listen, if you have the best offer in the world and nobody knows about it, you can't get attention. It's a waste of everyone's time. Well, not everyone's time, your time. So how you can build an offer, right? So what makes an offer work? First and foremost, you need to have a transformation. You need to have a starting point and then an end point, right? So you need to have a clear before and after state, right? Let's say if it's a make money online, guys, starting point is you're broke, end point is you're not broke no more, right? Then from there, you need to have an ideal client profile, right? So for esoteric manifestation, with what Nero does, he has a clear person in mind who may be slightly interested in esoteric principles and maybe a little bit religious, but they don't know how to apply certain things, or maybe it's even someone who's has emotional blockages, pain points, whatever the case is. And then from there, you need to have a unique selling point, your unique spin on it. And that could even be portrayed through certain stories, certain experiences, certain books you've read, certain methods that you've seen that have failed other people. And then you put your own spin on it and made it work for yourself and other people, right? And then from there, you need to have a mechanism, right? How is this transformation going to happen? Like, this arrow is essentially the mechanism. How are you going to get people there, right? And that's what essentially the 4 steps to making a banging offer, right? Let's keep it nice and simple, right? And then from there, you can build a value ladder. Now, I don't want to get too much into detail on this. If you want to see another video on this in the future, let me know. I can make one. But really and truly, I just want to focus on kind of his ICP, his USP, right? And for Nero Knowledge, his ICP is essentially entrepreneurs, right? It's entrepreneurs. That's who he's essentially making his content for. However, he does make general content for his lower kind of tier stuff, right? And I'll talk about it briefly, right? So in terms of the bait, his bait is essentially his free YouTube videos, right? That's designed for everyone, right? Anyone and everyone. And then he has a front end, or it's not really front end, it's just the next step in the value ladder. That's his book, right? So if you like the free value on YouTube and you want to have a place where all this information can get distilled in one easy, simple place, you buy the book, right? Then from there, his USP, as you get higher up the value ladder, it gets closer to his actual ideal client profile, which is entrepreneurs, right? Why? Because he can charge more to entrepreneurs, right? So then he has a money manifestation guide, right? So it's not fully entrepreneurs yet, but it's to do with money, manifesting money, living in abundance, living in, that kind of stuff, right? Then from there, he has another upsell, which is his, I believe it's a 995 course, which is just about, manifesting money on a deeper level for entrepreneurs. And then at the very his high ticket offer, which he charges $20,000 for, is specifically for like entrepreneurs, athletes, actors, that kind of stuff, right? Cool. So yeah, basically broke this down already, but yeah, he's got his free stuff, his YouTube videos, his low ticket stuff, his book, his mid ticket, which is his money manifestation guide, workshop courses, and then his high ticket stuff, 20K plus. And then as you get higher up the value ladder, which is essentially this, not only do you get more proximity to Nero and his like ideas in more depth, but you also get closer to his kind of like desired client profile, which is entrepreneurs. Why? Because you can charge more money for. But then again, with entrepreneurs, there's actual legitimate problems that he can solve with his mechanisms. I guess it works out for both parties, right? You can help entrepreneurs get to, get past the revenue ceilings, which is this kind of offer. I believe, it's 2 to 5x revenue ceiling with internal energetic mastery. And then for him, he can charge more to, entrepreneurs. And I believe he qualifies them at $50,000 a month or more in order to qualify for the high ticket program. So he gets paid, they get paid more. It's a win-win for everyone involved. Cool. Right, so I'm gonna give you some examples, right? So here's like a flow of how somebody might go through his funnel, right? Somebody watches the free content. They think, yo, this guy knows what he's talking about. He might have something that he can help me with. Let me explore more, right? So you see the free content there. You might buy the book. So the book there, he's recently come out with a book, £30 there for the book, because you want just a single place where all that knowledge can be distilled, right? And then from there, you might be thinking, ooh, this is banging. And you know what? He actually has another product, and I'm kind of struggling with money. He's already built enough trust and authority with what he's already helped me out with for free and for £30. Let's see what this is about, right? And then so on and so forth, right? These are his kind of offers, right? So again, like the low ticket course for people who want to, more help with a more specific problem, getting closer and closer to his ICP, entrepreneurship, money, financial abundance. The mid ticket courses, this is how he actually uses this in even more depth. And then if you want like one-to-one in-depth guidance, probably with, you know, WhatsApp number and all that kind of jazz, weekly calls, probably daily calls. I don't know how it works. I'm not going to funnel hack him to death. I'm just giving you a quick breakdown, right? Cool. And that's essentially, yeah, how he structures his offer. Now we got the, if I missed anything, no. Now we got the sales process, right? Cool. So he's got his attention, right? He's got his attention. Those eyeballs have been directed to an offer or multiple offers, depending on the right product market fit for the ICP, USP, all that kind of good stuff. Now, how does he actually, like, what's the process that he uses to get people to become customers? Okay. So he's got a couple ways, you know, he's got his link tree, he's got his, you know, book a page funnel to email funnel. He's got, you know, you can buy a product, which then gets nurtured with call to actions, email sequences with kind of like, you know, welcome to, you know, my newsletter, case studies, value drop, all this kind of stuff, just to keep him top of mind, right? These are just tactics that he uses, right? So here's another flow. This might be somebody who watches a YouTube video. What's this one? Time traveling is the fastest way to manifest, right? They watch this YouTube video. Damn, that's crazy. 30,000 views in 22 hours. That's a lot of eyeballs. Like, if you mastered like getting attention, especially on YouTube, like, and some people are watching, bro, 1 hour videos of him on YouTube. If you master this, you're gonna kill it. Like, you're just gonna kill it. Like, you're actually better off having an average product and then having really good just marketing and attention getting mechanisms, and then driving those eyeballs. Even if only 1% of those ever convert, bro, that's so much. Then spending all your time building like the best products ever, but you don't know how to get attention. Like, no one even knows about it. Your mom barely knows about it, let alone, you know, 10, 15 people who are potential customers, right? Anyways, people watch the video. Go away, Siri. People watch the video, right? Go to and they think, yo, this guy knows what he's talking about. They go to the link tree page, all the links, whatever. They might go to his Instagram. They're like, yo, I like this guy. Quite cool. I like his vibe. Damn, what else has he got? They see, oh, he's actually selling a book. Fuck it, I'll buy a book. Then when you buy the book, you know, you order it. It may take a few days to get the email. Either way, that leads to him getting, you know, $146,000 a month, one way or another, right? Or you might just go from here and then just end up watching loads of videos of him, which nurtures you more, because maybe you're not too sure, but you just keep seeing him. You're like, yo, this guy really knows what he's talking about. Maybe the day you see it, you're like, oh, I don't know about buying a book right now. Then a week later, you see him, you're like, do you know what? Fuck it, let me buy the book. Next thing you know, boom, 146K. Another path is click the link in the bio. I believe it's the middle link, the online library. You get put on his email list where he sends like daily just advice, stories, case studies, whatever. One email is directly like a discount to one of his courses. Then you end up buying his metaphysical money manual, which he sells. Then from there, another way of him getting that 146K a month, right? Another way is, you know, you click the link, you go to a landing page with a VSL. Now, if you don't know what a VSL is, it's a video sales letter. He's got 2 VSLs at this time, I believe. And it's just essentially him selling you, talking about, you know, what it is that he does, his offers, your potential objections, all that kind of good stuff. How to 2 to 5x your revenue, 9 weeks maximum. That's his kind of offer, blah, 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 blah. You apply. And if you know, qualify for one of them, you get put to his high ticket program if you earn more than 50K a month. If you don't, then you get, you know, recommended a course. All roads lead to him 146K a month. Now, these are just multiple ways that he actually manages to get people into his ecosystem. One thing I really found interesting was he actually worked with Isaiah John, who, if you don't know, if you're not watched Snowfall, he got a Snowfall, I guess, character as a client, Hollywood actors. He talks about he's got Hollywood actors and athletes or whatever. And I know he actually worked with this guy, and you know, it's kind of cool that he actually went to LA to kind of just see like the fruits of his labor, because I reckon that this guy definitely benefited from Nero Knowledge's knowledge in order for him to secure this role. I do remember him making a story about how he helped a Hollywood actor kind of, you know, advance their career. So yeah, this is definitely one cool client that I can confirm. Again, I'm not here to funnel hack him to death, just to kind of show like the power of actually having like a proper funnel. Because just imagine, right? Just imagine this guy got a phone call one day from a random guy in like Birmingham or whatever saying, yo, like, I'm going to help you, you know, get your next contract. He's going to be like, what are you talking about? How'd you get my number? Like, bro, no. But the fact that you've managed to create an ecosystem where you just get so much, you get so much attention. Your YouTube channel has so much authority that people watch it. Like, if you're getting 100,000, 200,000 views, like, bro, Hollywood actors are probably watching your videos, like, especially if you're dropping value, like, athletes watching your videos, right? So instead of Nero chasing this dude is probably watching his videos, gone through his funnel and applying. And that's just the power of having an attention-getting mechanism and building authority and doing it in a way which can actually build trust. And that's the power of the digital revolution, of the digital age. Like, it would have been impossible for some dude in just like wherever to get in contact with these types of people. So anyways, let me not ramble. That's probably a future video that I'm going to do. But yeah, essentially what this looks like is top of funnel. He gets all this attention, Instagram, YouTube, meta ads, whatever. That then goes to a landing page. A landing page with a VSL, video sales letter, and application page. Depending on how you answer, right? You might get downsold to a low ticket, or maybe the book. You might get a mid-ticket upsell, or you might get super sold into the high ticket, right? Depending on how you answer, but that's essentially his flow in a very simple kind of way, right? Now, his conversion process. What I like about Nero, and I've not funnel hacked him to death, like I said like I said before, but just to kind of show you just a brief glimpse into his situation, right? I've not found any evidence that he actually has closers. Like, I don't have any evidence saying he's got like a team of people in a call center in India calling all these leads, saying, hey, listen, like, I got this course, you might like, whatever. But so with that being said, I believe he converts without closers. And I believe the reason why he can convert without closers is because his content is just so authority driven that it does all the pre-selling for you. So the YouTube builds so much trust, right? And authority. It's structured in a way that if you watch 1 or 2 videos, a lot of people just binge watch his stuff, you know, for hours and days on end. And by the time somebody applies, bro, they feel like they already know the dude. And even just look at the comments. Like, the comments are crazy. Like, people just love him up. Like, I used to question why nothing was working. I kept hitting walls, and it's just like the social proof is just there. Like, it's just there in abundance. Like, you know. And again, yeah. So he's got VSL first funnel. So even if you click a link in the bio, go straight to VSL, which is further video digital assets that are going to work for him, which just show more social proof, the more claims on the return of investment. He has his own spin on it, saying secret societies kind of use this energy, is kind of kept hidden from you. That's his kind of narrative that he runs with. You know, it's a marketing tactic. It's cool. I fuck with it. And you know, he uses like emotional triggers as well. Just talking about, you know, if you're burnt out, stuck in a revenue ceiling, dealing with self-doubt, all these kind of things. And the video sales letter, and his YouTube videos, they do a lot of the heavy lifting, right? So by the time somebody, you know, actually applies, right, instead of a sales call, you know, it creates a sense of selectivity, because it's like people are approaching him and he pre-frames expectations, and he's probably turning people away, right? And that's just what I thought was cool. Again, I'm not going to go into the whole sales process, but that's what I thought was cool about how he probably doesn't have a team of like call centers in India. But yeah, anyways, I've rambled enough. What can you take from this, right? So what can you take? So you can see clearly how he's used aspects of the PureScale system in order to build something for him, which is going to get attention, get traffic, attention economy, like I said, into an offer. Once it's in the offer, he uses, you know, email automations, communities, all this kind of stuff, funnels, VSLs, to then convert people into clients, right? So for Nero's case in particular, what you can take away from this is what I took away is definitely authenticity over polish, right? You can have the most beautiful, sexy looking videos and everything, but it's like, if you're not being yourself, or if you're not actually spitting game or bringing people valuable, or people aren't walking away from your videos or your content thinking like, I learned something, you're just going to be like everyone else, right? And everyone else gets results that you don't want. You want to be above and beyond, right? Build belief, right, before ever pitching, right? Build belief. Understand that building a community will just lead to more conversions and conversations, but conversions as well. And yeah, your system should close for you. Have sales assets that build trust on your behalf, right? Anyways, I'm not going to ramble for too much longer, but listen, if you found this breakdown valuable, I've got more coming like this. In fact, if you watch it to the end, comment below who you want me to see, I can't even speak. Comment who you want me to funnel hack, and I'll just funnel hack them. Like, I love doing these kind of videos, right? So subscribe, hit the like button. Also, if you're a coach or creator and you want a free funnel audit, click the link in the bio to book a slot, because I'm also giving away early access to the whole PureScale course. It's a free course. I ain't charging for this. Tension, build a sales pipeline, how to position your offer, all that stuff. I'm giving it away all for free. I should be done with it in a few weeks. But anyways, yeah, apply for the wait list. And like I said, if you want me to funnel hack anyone, or if you want me to even go through a specific part of a funnel, if you enjoyed this, let me know below and I'll get to it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.